On today's Locked On Thunder podcast, the Thunder get revenge over Portland. SGA was elite tonight.
You are Locked On Thunder, your daily Oklahoma City Thunder podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's get it going on the Locked On Thunder podcast, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, media member, and beat writer for Thunder on SI.com, Rylan Stiles. Follow me on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles. Follow the show on Twitter at LO ThunderPod. On today's show, we're diving into the Thunder's game against the Portland Trailblazers. It was not much of a game. The Thunder blew them out. We're here in the Will Rogers room, able to record to you from the arena because Derek Parker came through with the microphone setup, which I had forgotten mine, about 2 hours away from this location. So luckily, Derek came through. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started right now. You everydayers make this show work. You've made us the number one podcasting network for sports in the world, and I thank you very much for that. A lot to come this week, but first, we're talking Portland. In this game, you always knew the Thunder would have something a little extra for Portland, given that it's their lone loss on the year. But then Portland puts out their injury report, and there is no healthy guards on it. And I can't think of a worse team in the NBA to play if you don't have healthy guards. The Thunder, of course, dealing with their own injury mishaps, of course, with trying to navigate injury adversity, I should say. Missing J-Dub still, missing Wiggins for the 9th straight game. No Kenrich, no Topic. But ultimately, this was a professional approach to this game for Oklahoma City. They only let up 8 points in the paint, and then 18 total in the first. 18 total points in the first frame, first part of the first quarter. They forced 5 turnovers right out of the chute, capitalized with 11 points off of them in that first quarter. They let that lead balloon to 21 points. And then the second quarter came around, and the game already felt over. And Oklahoma City quickly solved the problem of the Portland zone defense, which I think is a critical part of this game. There's not a ton to shape your opinion about either franchise from this game, frankly. This was not indicative of how good or bad Portland can be the rest of the year. This was not indicative of how great that the Thunder will be the rest of the year. But one game within the game was when Portland went to zone in that second quarter, and the Thunder started out having a little bit of trouble with it and then quickly found their groove. And it's because you were able to go to Isaiah Joe off the bench. You were able to have Chet Holmgren create buckets for you in the middle, whether it is his mid-range game, whether it is his playmaking. And that's how the game even started. The first play of the game was Chet finding IHart back-to-back possessions for the first 2 points of this game for OKC. The third quarter rolled around. The Thunder continued to roll, completely put this game away in a good old-fashioned curb stomping. Doing your job against a weaker team and never letting up is hard to do. Look around the NBA at how many upsets you see nightly. And the Thunder were clearly fired up in this game. Look no further than Shai, the leader of this team, the number one player in the world, showing so much emotion with the and one where he stays on the ground to scream. He hits a layup to go up 10 points and have 13 points in the first quarter. And Portland, of course, calls a timeout trying to stop the bleeding. And SGA runs over to the bench, leaps in the air, does a 360 pirouette falling into the bench. He was that animated, that excited. And you don't see that every day. You don't see that every day from SGA. This is a cold-blooded guy. This is someone who doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. There was just something different about this contest. Ajay Mitchell took another hard foul, and the whole entire team ran after Ryan Rupert. That was an interesting moment in the second quarter. Bad day for shoes. Both Isaiah Joe and J-Will lost their kicks at one point in this game. Brooks Barnhizer made his first NBA three, playing his third game in 3 days because he was sent down with the OKC Blue throughout this last weekend setup for the back-to-back in Texas. But ultimately, the Thunder got up by 36 points at one point. Portland starts the game up by 4. There's 2 lead changes in between, and the Thunder eventually coast their way to a win, being +4 on the glass for OKC. The Thunder had 33 assists in this game. They only forced 16 turnovers. I say only. That's still, of course, a lot. But considering Portland did not have any guards, 16 turnovers is not as bad as it could have been. We've seen some healthy teams turn it over 20-plus times against this Thunder roster. But OKC made 52% of their shots tonight. That'll play. That'll work. 41% from 3, 73% at the charity stripe. Portland, on the other hand, shot 37% from the floor, 25% from three, and 71% at the line. OKC was a plus 18 in the paint, a plus 10 in second chance points, and they won the fast break points. They did everything they were supposed to do. They executed at a very high level, and it starts with SGA. It starts with the leader. You also had great moments from Ajay Mitchell. I thought that J-Will played better than his box score showed, and I cannot let Isaiah Hartenstein, go without notice. Because, even if you include garbage time, Portland only had 40 points in the paint compared to OKC's 58. And a lot of that was done in garbage time. The Thunder really controlled the paint tonight at a high level. And why I point that out is because we mentioned, 16 turnovers is a lot. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that for Portland. It's a lot of turnovers, but it's not as bad as it could have been, considering their circumstances. What they did have tonight was Donovan Clingan, who's made massive impacts throughout his career for Portland. And they still could not utilize that to their advantage because you had Chet and IHart each with 3 blocks. You had IHart just commanding the glass, especially on the defensive end. And you punished them when they did give it away. You limited them to 1 shot at a possession. This was a professional win for the Thunder. This was another step in the right direction, of course, for their winning streak. They avenged their only loss on the year. They go 17-1 now. And now we see how far they can take this thing. We see how long they can ride out this winning streak with the schedule on deck for Oklahoma City. Coming up, though, let's talk SGA, who I thought was absolutely elite in this game. But first, I want to say right now, we're good friends over at Gusto, folks. Go check out Gusto today because Gusto is impressive. They're awesome. And let's be real. No one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholds or managing payroll spreadsheets. That's where Gusto comes in. To take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR, they have you focus on running your business and supporting your team because they do the dirty work for you, kind of like Isaiah Hartenstein. Gusto is the all-in-one, remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast, whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees. Gusto helps you do all of that from one place without the hassle or hidden fees. They have unlimited payroll runs for 1 monthly price, which means there's no surprise charges at the end of the month. Gusto automatically has tools for you there to automate offer letters, onboarding materials, direct deposits. It saves you hours every single week, them doing the dirty work for you after knowing that you can reach a certified HR expert anytime. That should give you real peace of mind for your business that they can handle that for you. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/LockedOnNBA and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months free of payroll at gusto.com/LockedOnNBA. One more time, that's gusto.com/LockedOnNBA. Also want to say right now, my good friends over at Wayfair, folks, go check out Wayfair today because they are great this holiday season. It's here. I mean, we're sitting here in the middle of Thanksgiving week, and that means it's time to get your home ready, whether you need more seating for guests or cozy new linens, fun serveware for holiday hosting. Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to help you make your space shine. The best part is you don't have to wait. Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long, up to 70% off everything from sofas to spatulas. Go check them out today at Wayfair because I recently had to upgrade my desk setup at home, and so Wayfair had that for me over there. And you're not going to want to miss these amazing prices that they have for you. So if you've ever hosted holidays before at your house, you know what a difference a few nice touches can make with new furniture, with new anything, serveware, whatever you need. Wayfair makes that easy for you. Do not miss out on the early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com right now. Shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale up to 70% off. That's wayfair.com, WAYFAIR.com. Sales in December 7th. So you have a lot of time here to get those Black Friday deals at Wayfair. We're back on the Locked On Thunder podcast. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day. You everydayers make this show work, including making us the #1 sports podcast in the world. SGA was on fire tonight. Literally. He was fired up. He was a bucket getter to the nth degree. Like, even for Shai, this was an impressive display of bucket getting. He had 11 points before the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. You never see Shai scream on the floor like he did or leap into the bench like he did when Portland calls a timeout down by 10. He nails a catch-and-shoot triple to have 20 points in the opening half. Step back at the elbow for a personal 5-0 run after that shot, which was shrugging off Kamara, who was a vaunted good defender and a really good defender in his own right, and it just didn't matter. It's hard for any team to defend SGA, to try to stop him. But Kamara should be the prototypical player who gives you the best fighting chance. And it just didn't matter. It really didn't. Before halftime, he had already extended his 20-point streak to 90 games. 90 games in a row for Shai scoring 20 or more points in a streak that doesn't seem like it'll stop anytime soon. But I continue to harp on his improvement from three and improvement as a playmaker. And tonight, his playmaking, once again, should have been a lot louder than even the 7 assists that he had. You saw him drive to the paint where he's been dominating all game. Gets his defender behind him, hostage dribble, bounce past to Chet. Chet's wide open for three. Chet misses. That's still a great play by Shai. Still a great process by the Thunder's offense. Still a shot that you want to feed Chet every time it's available. And Shai can make those shots more available to Chet and can make the Thunder have a higher three-point shot quality than ever before with this improved playmaking. He makes the extra pass to Cason Wallace, where Cason Wallace is wide open in the corner. And he's been elite, Cason has, from the corner. He happened to miss it. But this is Shai coming off an IHart screen, getting the switch off that screen and drawing up the help defender from Cason. And instead of forcing the issue, instead of riding us on as he was an amazing offensive player all game, he makes that extra pass to Cason. Another great play that doesn't end up in the stat sheet, but it is a sign of what's to come. It's a sign of what's out there, what's possible for this team. Gets a putback bucket after IHart gets blocked at the rim. He had 28 points in the first half. And those 28 points in the first half came with just one missed shot. IHart set up Shai beautifully at the top of the key. So IHart's in the paint on the baseline area, kicks it out to Shai. Catch and shoot three, wide open top of the key. That forces Portland to scramble. And this is what we've been talking about this season. This is where we're starting to see the defense respect Shai's three. Chet's man, with Chet in the dunker spot, just zooms up to the top of the key to try to run Shai off the three-point line or contest his three. Shai reads the floor, recognizes this, redirects the pass to Chet Holmgren in that dunker spot. Easy 2 points. And it puts defenses in such a bind, there's just nothing they can do. Because you left Chet at the rim to contest the Shai three. And of all the shots on the floor, now look, Shai's always been a great player. He's always been an all-time great scorer the last couple of years. But of all the shots that you would let Shai shoot, it was the three-point shot. Over the last 2 weeks, that can't happen anymore. He's steadily improved throughout his career as a three-point shooter, but especially this year. And if this trend continues, then I don't know how you defend this Thunder team effectively. Because when you have elected to leave Chet at the rim wide open, and now Shai can harm you in two more ways than he has before, reading the floor, playmaking has taken a step forward. His three-point shot has taken a step forward. What is the limit for this Thunder's offensive progression? It's going to be really fun to figure out what all the Thunder can now do. Shai has a post-up, at the elbow extended. On the opposite side of the court is Isaiah Joe. Shai, masterful in the mid-range, a true maestro scoring the ball from that area, is well within his right to go ahead and try to score there. Shai again reads the floor, sees that this side of the court's overloaded, launches a skip pass to Isaiah Joe all alone in the opposite corner. Isaiah Joe cashes it in. Then Shai comes down, it's a step back three. Then he comes down and finds Caruso rolling off of a guard-to-guard screen at the rim for another easy bucket. So another 5-0 run that Shai's a part of. Shai was just special in this game. 34 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 72% from the floor, 2 for 3 from distance. The only miss from 3 was really a prayer in this game. That's how much players gotten from the three-point line. 9 for 9 from the free throw line. 30 minutes of work in this game, plus 27 for SGA. Really impressive stuff from Shai. I thought that Chet Holmgren, played better than his box score would indicate yet again. And at some point, the shots have to fall for him. This is another game of him not shooting the ball particularly well. But his ability to be in the middle of the paint and create for others has really helped this team bust up zones. And that was their big knock last year. Like, part of why their half-court offense did labor in the postseason was because of their inability to beat zone. Part of that was because they were missing threes. Part of that was because they just didn't have the personnel and didn't have this opportunity to grow in this area. But Chet has, because he can go to that middle of the paint at the nail, get an entry pass, and either turn around, hit a mid-range jumper, or dump it off to Isaiah Hartenstein at the rim, or kick it back out for another three once the defense collapses. It just gives you so many options when you have Chet in the middle of that zone. I thought that Chet was really good tonight. He had the behind-the-back pass to IHart, where Chet was at the dunker spot, IHart in the middle of the paint at the front of the rim. Behind-the-back pass, IHart hits that floater, drives baseline off the catch, seals off Klingon, gets Klingon sealed off behind him, and forces Klingon to foul, his second foul early on. And he goes to the free throw line for two attempts at the line. Blocks Deni Avdija on the drive. The ability that he has to stay straight up and take contact and swat shots, it's really remarkable. Got Klingon's third foul on the defensive end, drawing an offensive foul on Klingon, Chet did. And then here's what I really loved about Chet. This was a play that really can illustrate the phrases and the ways that we've described Chet's differences this season on every show we've done, whether it's the Locked On Thunder Daily Show or post-game or on the squad show with Jeremy Lamb and Tyler Jones. Like, we always talk about how Chet's redefined himself, and he's an inside-out scorer, and he's always available to Shai now. Chet sits at the opposite dunker spot on the opposite side of the paint as a Shai drive. And Shai, driving to the rim, naturally gets all the attention. Everyone's back is turned to Chet. Shai, with his improved playmaking, rewards Chet, dumps it off to him. Chet has an easy dunk. And it's just, what do you do? Because if you stay true and stay home to Chet, well, you give up an easy layup to Shai. Well, if you all commit to Shai, he's such an improved playmaker now, and Chet's in the proper spots here to take advantage of it, and it's just 2 easy points either direction that you go. It would take a heroic effort to take away both options at the rim whenever they can space like that. And we typically think of spacing as like, standing around the three-point line or what you can do as a floor spacer as a shooter. This is how you're spacing the floor differently around Shai as a driver this year that has allowed him to look noticeably better as a playmaker, that has allowed this Thunder team to control the paint and dominate the paint even more than they already had. So that was another great play from Chet. He drove from the wing and dumps it off to IHart in the dunker spot for 2 easy points. Chet's driving, of course, with his improved mid-range jumper, with his improved rim finishing, getting a little bit more attention. But their ability to command the paint tonight, Chet and IHart, and limit the Portland Trailblazers from getting offensive rebounds and from getting second chance points, of course, with that, and then scoring at the rim, that cannot be understated in how you got such a snowball advantage, how you got such a big lead, and how you blew them out. But ultimately, Chet ends up with just 5 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks. Again, bad shooting night, 1 for 5 from 3. He had to have 8 shots from the floor to get 5 points. Like, that's not what you want. But Chet's impact kind of transcended that tonight and his offensive efficiency. But of course, you want to see Chet continue to get more efficient than he was the last 2 nights. He's been more efficient overall the whole season, but then the last 2 nights. Coming up, though, let's tell you about Ajay Mitchell, who popped. But first, let's hear right now. Better good friends over at FanDuel. Go check out FanDuel today because FanDuel is incredible. The NBA is back. There's no better place to get on the action than FanDuel. It's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets from everything from who will score the next point to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into same game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game more exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. That's by going to FanDuel.com, signing up today. If a new customer is there and your first $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use on the app, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, where you can go there right now and find all the lines that you want, from games to award winners to anything else. You can even go and take a gander at Mavericks Heat. Tyler Hero making his debut. Heat 8-point favorites in that game in Miami. Go check it out today at FanDuel.com. We're back on the Lockdown Thunder podcast on the Lockdown Podcast Network, your teams every day. Here talking about the Thunder dominating the Portland Trailblazers and getting this win. I thought that Ajay Mitchell was incredible tonight with some tough finishes in traffic, but there's so many ways you can go with his night. First of all, he had 20 points, 5 assists, a rebound, 2 steals, 100% shooting from the floor, 2 for 2 from 3, and 2 for 4 at the line, and a plus 24 in this game. Like, he made an impact on the ball. He made an impact off the ball. He was a table setter. He was a scorer. He was a defensive playmaker with deflections and steals, and he shot perfect in this game because he has the touch to hit these floaters in the lane, to score above the trees in the paint, but he also has this ability to draw contact, to absorb it, and force the refs to blow the whistle and get to the line to keep him at this efficient clip and to keep him able to score in the 20s for some of these games that he's had. But off the ball is where you really see how valuable he is to this team, because any lineup that you put on the floor, he can adapt himself to it. In this game, he's able to be a movement guy, like a guy who is just slipping off these ghost screens to the rim, who's relocating on the three-point line, who's keeping himself involved in every single opportunity, whether it be as the primary option, whether it be as a secondary option, whether it be off of a reset on an offensive rebound, and now you're kind of scrambling and improvising. He's able to be involved in everything. If you need him on the ball, he can do that. If you need him to drive, he can do that. And in this game, he was able to show off his three-point percentage, which I thought, and his three-point prowess, which I thought was something that we're going to see from him moving forward, because he's been a really good catch-and-shoot three-point shooter his whole career. I don't see that changing. I know he's had a slow start. I don't see that changing. And one of those catch-and-shoot threes was he's the trailer on the play. Him and Caruso kind of tap around a loose ball, and he's now behind the play. Caruso brings the ball up and just pitches it back to Ajay Mitchell, who steps into a three off the catch and launches it and nails it. Like, doing that in transition is big. Relocating off of a screen and kind of going from, I believe, the corner to the slot on this one play, hitting another catch and shoot three, that we've seen from him in the past is good. But his first catch and shoot three was, of course, in that transition opportunity. His second three was off the dribble, coming off of a screen from IHart, and then just taking that three, which I think that when you look at AJ, his kind of cerebral nature of absorbing the game is what's going to make the difference for him long term. Because this is a guy who has to feel like at this point he can get to the rim at will, and that the best things happen for him when he's downhill. When he gets to the free throw line, he gets easy buckets, like he gets dump off passes for easy assists. The best things happen when he's getting downhill. And to come off that IHart screen and notice that guys are playing drop on him and just pull up off the dribble as a guy who has not shot the ball extremely well to start this season at all. Like, that level of confidence just can't be taught. That level of breaking down the game can't be taught, because it's hard to resist that temptation of just going back to what always works for you. He's able to get into the lane off of a steal where he's defending. I believe it was Caleb, but he's defending Caleb at the Paycom Center logo. Pokes the ball out, gets a steal, goes in transition. Ryan Repair just gives him a hard foul, tugging on his jersey, bringing him down to the ground. It incites a skirmish, as iHeart's upset about it. Caruso's upset about it. Everybody's upset about it. And I think that that's just indicative of who AJ is. He's never going to let you breathe on the court. Like, you can't do anything. You can't calmly come down the court and set up your action. He's going to hound you. You can't be lazy defensively and rely on your back line to defend him, because he's going to get through those guys too. And he's just a pest to play. And that's a great thing to have, because now you've seen 2 different frustration fouls against AJ. The Russell Westbrook play a couple weeks ago, this one, because he's just always there. You just can't get rid of him, and you can't get rid of his impact. It involves a flagrant one for him. Hits a floater off of that flagrant one inbound when the Thunder retain possession. Again, just purely efficient in this game, shooting 100% from the floor. J. Will and iHart deserve a lot of credit. J. Will, I thought, was playing with a lot of confidence tonight, and he was dropping dimes all over the court. The entry pass to Shai for an easy 2 points, that touch is so underrated on that pass. Like, it was the right amount of zip, right amount of loft. He had the pocket pass on the bounce to Ajay Mitchell, which I thought was something that you can see him adding to his game off of playing with iHart for now over a year, because the DHO gets denied, and he does not, AJ Will does not at all look like a deer in headlights. He lets AJ cut off of it and then finds him on the bounce, going to the rim, throws a bullet pass, skipping it to Isaiah Joe from the top of the key to the corner for a 4-point play for Isaiah Joe, who knocks it down. And then he cut to the rim today and got to the free throw line off of an Isaiah Joe drive, playing off of him inside the arc. He ends up going 1 for 2 from 3-point land, 2 for 4 at the free throw line. He only has 5 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, but some strong box outs, so much so that Mark had to challenge a call to get it overturned because it was a legal box out from J-Will. J-Will's stat line, nothing to write home about, but of course, I thought that his impact was better than the box score would show. IHart deserves so much credit for Shai's game tonight. And yes, Shai was awesome. We spent a whole segment talking about just Shai and how great he is. But the screen setting ability to wipe away 2 guys with 1 screen, to clear a lane, Honta Shai's way to the rim, with his body, like that really got Shai going early and often in this game. That felt like a cheat code in this game. And it's like an offensive lineman blocking for a running back. Like he's not going to get a ton of credit for that, but he was in charge of a lot of those early points for Shai. He creates those second chance points for OKC. Had a great assist to Cason Wallace on a last second dive to the rim whenever they had an offensive rebound and the shot clock was dwindling. 7 points, 15 rebounds, 12 of which were defensive, 3 assists, 3 blocks. What a presence in the middle he was for this offense and for his hockey assists, his screening ability, his box outs, his rebounds. It was all great for him. Isaiah Joe capped it off with 10 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block, 2 for 6 from 3, key to busting up those zones against Portland. Really nice secondary playmaking season from him so far. He had a pair of and ones, 1 driving to the rim, 1 off the catch and shoot 3 that we talked about. He also had a great secondary playmaking play where he gets downhill and just shovels a pass out to AJ on the corner to keep the action alive and really disjoint Portland's defense. And now they're in scramble mode, thinking that the play was about to end at the rim with Isaiah Joe. And instead, here comes AJ coming off this extra pass. Like Isaiah Joe really read the floor well tonight, and he played a really good game tonight. You'll have to excuse me for this shorter show tonight because, as you can probably tell, I hope you can tell, I hope you don't think I sound like this all the time, a little bit of a head cold today, a little bit of a, itchy throat situation, pause. So, shorter show today. However, not short on content this week. Monday live stream with Derek Parker at 2 p.m. Central here for you on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to have 20 things the Thunder should be thankful for this season with Michael Martin. So drop down below what you're thankful for about this Thunder season so far. On Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central, our squad show is live here on YouTube and uploaded to podcast afterward with Jeremy Lamb and Tyler Jones. Jeremy Lamb has been great, providing a player point of view on this Thunder season so far. Wednesday, we got winners and losers to start this season with Justin Martinez. Thursday, we're going to recap that Timberwolves game. And then also on Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Time, we have another edition of our squad show with Jeremy Lamb. So even working on the holidays. Friday, we have Joe Mazzato stopping by to discuss our contender list for the Thunder at the quarter point into the season. And then Friday night, recapping that Suns game. So still 8 more podcasts for you this week. Don't miss any of them by subscribing to Locked On Thunder anywhere you get your podcasts from, including on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review, a comment, a like. Follow me on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles. I appreciate all of you listening. We'll be back again tomorrow as always. But until then, folks, be good and be good to one another.